Our cash is getting pretty low. We may need to shut down facilities for a while to cut down our running costs.
Alright, so not a great start to the new episode, but welcome back to the channel, guys. We are here for episode 10. We've made it 10 episodes through the series. If you guys haven't seen the other episodes, just hit the link up here. That's the whole playlist. You guys can watch all that. There's timestamps if you only want to watch the race, including on this video. So if you're not really interested in the team management and things like that, just look at the timeline, and you can fast forward to qualifying and the race. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe for more F1 content via Cyborg Gaming. However, we are here for episode 10 of our My Team series, and in the last video we were at Silverstone and not a great outing. We finished second last. As it currently stands, we have $933,000 in the bank with 1,743 R&D points, and we are at a level 10 acclaim level. So with that level 10 acclaim level, we can sign our secondary sponsor. So I'm just going to read through these, and then I'm going to cut to whichever one I choose. After looking at all of the potential sponsorships, we are going to be going with Zigzag, and our weekly goal is as a team to complete a total of 30 laps. So just given that we don't DNF or anything like that, it should be pretty easy to get that weekly bonus. So we're gonna go with that. All the other ones are like you got to get a certain amount of overtakes or finish with a certain amount of points, which with the current car that we have, I'm not 100% sure we can do that consistently. So we're gonna go with the easiest one just to secure the bag, and let's sign that. Looking at our vehicle, I'm gonna go ahead and refit essentially everything in the car here. The car is really worn down. We're gonna keep the ICE, but we are gonna replace everything else. For R&D, in the last video, I believe one of our aero upgrades failed, and it should be done by the time this race comes around. However, we finally have enough for the new engine cover, and I'm pretty sure that the chassis department is not working on any other upgrades. So we're gonna go ahead, and that will be ready for us by the Netherlands Grand Prix in Zandvoort. We still have 857 R&D points, so we could work on the aero department. I think that's what we're gonna do, because chassis, we already have an upgrade going, and aerodynamics seems to be slacking a little bit. So just looking at the suggested upgrades, we have a $413 rear wing main plane, so this is going to help us out with rear downforce, and we're going to go ahead and upgrade that. Still have 444. Let's see if we can do, okay, no, we can't do another one. Department capacity has been reached, and I want to see if we can upgrade anything else potentially. Okay, yeah, so can't upgrade anything else. So all of our upgrades are at maximum capacity, I guess you could say. $933,000. We can't do any facility upgrades, so I think we're just going to go ahead and simulate over to the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So while simulating, we got a durability department event, so let's do that. A recent breakthrough from the durability department has resulted in the team finishing ahead of schedule. We could get the team to do some extra R&D or use the time to schedule some promotional content for the team. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna do the R&D one because team acclaim, we can do that during the races. Resource points, very hard to come by. And I completely forgot as well to schedule events, so we kind of lost like 2 or 3 days worth of activities. However, let's go and schedule some events. Okay, so I stopped simulating because we now have $1.6 million, and we have 1,394 resource points, so we can go ahead and get another upgrade going, and possibly a facility upgrade. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can upgrade the chassis department build time. That will be ready July 31st, and that will reduce the build time of all upgrades by 20%. So we're gonna upgrade that. Now we're at 122,000, so we're running a little low on cash. However, for R&D, let's head over to our durability and see if we can get a suggested upgrade for that. The engine cover distribution is complete as well. So our suggested upgrade is another chassis upgrade. Let me look at our little R&D pie chart at the bottom right. Okay, let's go ahead and do another chassis upgrade. We're gonna go ahead with that suggested upgrade, get the roll dampers. That will be ready also before the Netherlands Grand Prix. And do we have any other suggested upgrades that we can work on? Rear wing outer stakes for rear downforce. We can also do that. That will be ready before Belgium. So let's go ahead, upgrade that. So now we got a few upgrades going, and a bunch of upgrades came in as well. But now I believe we are finally ready to advance to the Grand Prix. Oh, no, I lied. We have a powertrain department meeting. Ex-Formula 1 driver Lucas Weber has contacted us to request a tour of the powertrain department. Having Lucas walking around the facility has the potential to be a nice acclaim boost for the team, though of course it's likely to represent a bit of distraction ahead of their internal deadline. What do you think? So we're not giving away those resource points. We're gonna lose 750 resource points if we let this happen, but we do get a 1000 team acclaim boost. Again, resource points are top priority right now, so we're gonna go ahead and decline that. Alright guys, so we're here at qualifying now, and the practice sessions were pretty good. We did have a wet FP2, so we did get a little bit of practice because, as you can see here, we're going to be on the intermediates for qualifying as it is raining. And let's get ready to the qualifying here. Heading down the main straight into turn 1. We are currently in P1. I don't think we're going to be in P1 after that turn. We drop down to P8, P9. Bottas is in first. Hamilton takes over. We go very, very slow around turn 2. We don't want to fly outside the race line. We don't want to lose traction. We're going to try and go flat out here into this turn. And a decent exit. Rode the curb a little bit. So we are in P9. Heading into this kind of a hairpin turn. Now heading into the chicane. Got to take that very slow. We are trying to keep pace, however, not lose control of the car like that. That's going to cost us a few places, I believe. We dropped down to P14 as Bottas is in the lead still. Oh, man. So we are still in P14, so we're having a pretty decent qualifying. We dropped down to P15. Heading into the final turns here in qualifying. P14 still. As we fly wide outside the race line, and this part is very tricky to get right. Headed down the main straight here, we are in P15. Valtteri Bottas takes P1, I believe. So we're gonna finish P15, which was a decent lap. We rode the curb a little bit too much in sector 2. However, I'm happy with the P15. Given that our car is still not the greatest at the moment. We rose the difficulty to 90, so the other cars are definitely going to be a lot better. And as you can see, we are P15. Giuliano is P22, unfortunately, so that is not great for Cyborg Racing. And of course, the Mercedes and Red Bull cars are at the front of the grid. But let's get into the race, guys. All right, so we are here for race day. Quick look at the race strategy. We're gonna do 16 laps on the mediums, 19 laps on the hards. Supposed to be sunny throughout the whole race unless the weather machine is broken in the paddock. But let's get right into the race, guys. So we are behind Esteban Ocon, in front of Charles Leclerc. I don't know how he qualified so far back. And here we go, not the greatest start. We're going to activate that ERS so we try not to lose as many places. We're going to take the inside as well. Ooh, it is tight heading into turn 1. We had to ride onto the curb a little bit. Almost contact with Charles Leclerc. We were wheel to wheel. I'm going to go behind him. We kind of had to brake a little early there just to avoid clashing with Charles Leclerc. We're going to go flat out through this turn as usual. Oh man, I see why the Hungaroring is very hard to overtake. Track is very narrow.
The energy store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Heading to the chicane here on lap 1.
Incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car.
So it looks like there was some sort of collision and there was debris on the course. However, no safety car here, as we are in P14 heading into sector 3, and it looks like I do have a little bit of room to kind of just operate a little bit better. Turn 1 is definitely the overtake spot, so we got to get close to Leclerc by the time that we get there. We're going to activate the ERS. Kimi Räikkönen behind us as usual. I find that in the last few races we have been racing with Kimi Räikkönen quite a bit, and we fly outside the race line again on turn 1. Turn 2 a lot better. We've got to be careful with that curb there. That curb is deadly. There's a curb on the, I guess, hairpin turn. Not really a hairpin, but this turn upcoming, that if you ride that curb on the inside, you are gonna spin out. That curb right there on my right, gotta be very careful heading into that area of the track. Another chicane section.
We've lost one of the gears. The transmission is significantly damaged.
Oh man. So our gearbox not doing the greatest. We do not have a 4th gear, so we gotta be careful. We're gonna try avoiding using the 4th gear as much as possible. Hopefully Jeff is able to kind of fix that, or it kind of just starts working again not by the time, just as soon as possible, I think.
Okay, bad news on the gearbox. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it, do your best, that's all we can ask.
So Jeff just gave us an update that looks like the gearbox will not be able to be fixed, so we might have to go this entire race on no 4th gear, which is gonna suck. As you can see there, especially these slow turns, we have to gear down quite a bit. So going into lap 9, we are just behind Kimi Räikkönen. We're still stuck behind him. However, given every lap, we are moving just a little bit closer. So as long as we can keep the pace up, we will be potentially able to overtake him. The gearbox seems to have been fixed somehow, as we have our 4th gear back. And we are just waiting for a good time to overtake Kimi Räikkönen. However, given the Hungaroring, that might be a little bit difficult. So I'm looking to kind of try and overtake him on the main straight heading into turn 1. As our tire wear currently 23%, 20%, and I believe the bottom 2 were around 15%. So we are pitting on around lap 16. So we still have quite a bit to go before we need to change the tires.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
Okay, lap 13, we got DRS, we got the ERS. I'm gonna go for the dive bomb here.
You'll be on the hards.
See if we can overtake Kimi Räikkönen heading into the first turn. And we managed to overtake him. We have DRS as well. I don't think he has DRS, so we might create a little bit of a gap here. And after a few laps of just battling Kimi Räikkönen, we are able to overtake him. And on top of that, we are approaching the pit window soon. I believe it's lap 16 we're going to be pitting. So if he's on the same strategy, that would work out pretty well for us, as given that we don't have any pit mishaps, we will come out in front of him.
We want to pit this lap, so push now.
So on lap 16, we have overtaken Kimi Räikkönen. He is 0.5 seconds behind us for now. He's got DRS, so he's gaining on us. Esteban Ocon is about 7 seconds in front of us. And we are going to be heading into the pits. Let's see if Kimi Räikkönen is going to head into the pits as well. I'm not sure what strategy the other teams are on. Of course, I wouldn't know that because they're not going to tell me, obviously. But yeah, Raikkonen 0.4 seconds behind us, heading into the chicane here. I have been doing the chicane pretty well. That is a very hard chicane to do properly. I wouldn't say I'm doing it as best as I possibly can, but we haven't fucked up at all. Excuse my language. Kimi Raikkonen still 0.5 behind us. We're going to see if Esteban Ocon is pitting this lap, as I believe at this point he is going to be heading into the pits right now. Yep, there he is. I see him on the mini-map. He's heading into the pits right now. Let's see if we can get into the pit lane and come out ahead of Kimi Raikkonen still. We just need to have a good pit. Okay, no, Kimi Raikkonen is not pitting this lap, so maybe next lap he's pitting, but I saw Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Nikita Mazepin, they're all pitting this lap, and Esteban Ocon, I believe, was pitting as well. I believe Giuliano Alesi is going to be pitting in the next lap, because we are pitting this lap. So here we go out of the pit lane, and we come out in P20 ahead of Nikita Mazepin and George Russell. We are going to be on the hard compound for the rest of the race. George Russell goes into the pits. So does Nikita Mazepin. And now we just got to kind of push through here as we have a little bit of open air to push and catch up to whoever is leading in front of us. With Giuliano Alesi is in the pits. Nicholas Latifi is going to join him after George Russell pitted in the Williams. And I don't know who else is in the pits, but we have Stroll's in the pits as well. There goes Kimi Raikkonen, so we're going to be racing with him again into turn 1. I'm going to give him room on the outside. I don't know if that is DRS for Kimi Raikkonen. No, it is not. He's coming out of the pits, but we come out of the pits right in front of him, and we are back to racing with Kimi Raikkonen. I feel like a lot of the head-to-heads in this season thus far have been with Kimi Raikkonen, or maybe that's just this race. We've been behind him for the majority of the race. We passed him on lap 14 or 15, I believe.
You've lost access to one of the gears. We've lost one of the gears due to a fault.
Okay, lap 24. Jeff just told us that, oh god. So, I'm not sure which gear we lost. Oh god, it's our second gear. We lost our second gear, so we're gonna have to go the rest of this race without using a gear 2. And the way I like to drive, you know, I like to shift low so that you can really accelerate out the corners. You know, you do give up a little bit of traction. But Kimi Raikkonen was able to reduce his lead to 0.2. Now it's at 0.3. And there's not too many sectors, I don't think, that require us to go down to gear 2. But we're literally just going to have to stay in gear 3. Because that, going down to gear 1 would definitely kill a lot of our time. As Kimi Raikkonen tries to go to the inside, and as you can see here, we are in third gear. Oh god, he's gonna pass us with this next DRS zone too. I'm gonna activate that ERS. Hopefully we can keep him behind us going into the turn. If he does catch up, I will take the inside. As now we're getting a bunch of lockups because we can't gear down into gear 2 and release the pressure off the brakes a little bit. So lap 25, we got 10 laps to go. Kimi Raikkonen still behind us. We haven't really been able to shake him. He's keeping his distance. But we are still in P14 behind Esteban Ocon. Oh god, here he comes. Okay, so gear 2 is back. That's a good sign. Hopefully it doesn't go out again. We're probably gonna have to replace the gearbox after this race. We have had this gearbox for 9 races now, I think, and usually you use it through 6 or 7, but since we are very limited on parts and it is a 22 race season or 20 race season, I'm trying to use it for at least 10 races. But if the gearbox is going to keep failing on us like this, then maybe it is time to switch it.
Some information on Ocon. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Okay, guys, on lap 31, Esteban Ocon is out of the session as we just drove by him. I don't know what happened. Jeff just said there was a serious car issue. It doesn't look like there will be a safety car or anything. However, Kimi Räikkönen is now right up on our rear as I kind of lost focus trying to see what happened to Esteban Ocon. However, let's see if we can increase that gap again, and that would put us in P13 now. Oh god, this is going to be an intense last few laps at the Hungaroring as we lock up a little bit heading into the second last turn of lap 31. And Kimi Räikkönen seems to drop back in the dirty air, and he is now 0.5 seconds behind us again. Yuki Tsunoda is ahead of us now at 18 seconds. Or he has an 18-second gap in front of us. You know, you guys know what I mean. As always, I say this every video, I have trouble talking and racing simultaneously. Heading into turn 2 here. We have been doing this sector a lot better as the race moves along. And that little section there is where I'm kind of able to create a larger gap on Kimi Räikkönen, who is still behind us since lap 15 when I overtook him. There have been a few close calls, but nothing too serious. It's usually just the main straight where he has DRS, and it seems like he gains on us, but by the time we reach the turn, he has to brake a little bit earlier just due to his lack of downforce going into the turn, and we're able to stay ahead of him. I do not like this turn at all. So lap 32, and we are going to be getting the blue flag here. I will accept this blue flag because we have put up a good race. Okay, we put up a very good race. Hungaroring is very small. Kimi Räikkönen is right on our tail now again. 0.35 seconds. He is gaining on us, but not enough to overtake us in turn 1. We'll see in turn 2 here. He has DRS again. 0.3 seconds behind. And we are going to be getting the blue flag very soon, so we need to be careful in terms of how we time this. We don't want Kimi Räikkönen to overtake us from all of the blue flags. So I see the blue flags. I haven't gotten the pop-up on my screen to let him pass. Okay, there we go. Pass me, please. Okay, so we let Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas pass. However, Kimi Räikkönen 0.3 seconds behind us as he goes into the DRS zone, but I think we may have DRS as well behind Lewis Hamilton. So I'm going to activate that ERS and the DRS. Hopefully we can keep Räikkönen behind us as the lead seems to be increasing. Now we are allowed to re-overtake Hamilton if we feel that we can, I believe. We don't have to stay behind him if we are going faster than him, but in most cases that is not the case. They overtake you for a reason, or overlap you for a reason.
We're not racing the car behind. Let them pass when you can.
Oh my god, okay, so we got the blue flag to let Verstappen pass us. And Kimi Räikkönen thought it would be a good idea to try and overtake us there. Now we gotta stay at least a second behind Verstappen so that we can get DRS and mitigate Kimi Räikkönen's chance of him overtaking us. Here, heading into the last lap at the Hungarian Grand Prix. No DRS. Oh, I forgot. We got overlapped. So that's the end of the race. Kimi Räikkönen never overtook us. I was getting ready to, you know, commentate that last lap, but I guess there's no need for that. That's the second time we've been overlapped now. However, this was a much better race. I feel like Silverstone, we were just slacking. And I believe two cars overtook us on the first lap. Or one car. I think it was Kimi Räikkönen, and then we were able to overtake him. So, if I'm not mistaken, we started P14 and we ended P14. Given that no cars around us suffered any penalties. Esteban Ocon, he was out of the race on lap 31, and that allowed us to go from P15 to P14. So if you guys watched up to this point, make sure you guys hit the like button, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys for the next video. As you guys can see, we got a sponsorship renewal, but we're not touching that till next episode. So I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.